Editing is not a simple task. Honestly, every time I finish the first cut of a film, I'm usually depressed and rethinking all of my life decisions that led me up to that point. While editing, many storms and trials will come your way, and if you're not ready to get creative in order to overcome these trials, you're gonna most likely fail. So join me as I walk you through the 3 times that I had to overcome these trials and fix it in post for my short horror film, Every Night I See Them. All right, here's the first shot. I didn't really get a good shot of Nick jamming the pencil back into his arm after falling asleep already. It was like the last shot of the day and didn't have a lot of time for a lot of takes. So I took a shot of him releasing the pencil from his arm from one of the other 2 takes, and then I reversed it. And now it looks like he's jamming it back into his arm. He's tensing up and he's pushing it back into his arm and he's waking up. And I think it looks great. And no one's ever said anything or noticed anything. So it worked. And that's the most you can hope for. Here is the second shot. When the creepy ghost lady steps out of frame at the most convenient moment, the timing just felt a little off to me. It wasn't quite tight enough. So I ended up stabilizing the footage. I masked the image and I retimed the action to my liking. It was a really easy fix. I think I actually saw David Fincher using this trick ages ago in some DVD extras, so I was actually kind of excited to finally have a perfectly practical use to use it in one of my films. Yo, Editing Ryan here, and this is so bad. How did I get away with this? Do you see how bad this looks? Oh my, there, it's just chopped right here. You can see the molding just cut. It's not even faded. It's not blended. It's not the right size. It's in the final film. I don't know how I let myself get away with this. I didn't even notice. It's almost 2 years later. I didn't even know. I haven't noticed till now. So this is very eye-opening for me. I'm not pleased about my performance in this VFX shot, and I will do better next time. All right, and the third shot. This shot is pretty crazy. This shot here, yes, this simple shot, it doesn't exist. Somehow, I never got this shot on the day. When I realized that shot was missing while I was editing, I nearly scrapped the whole project. The entire climax of the film was falling flat without this shot, and if I wanted the film to work at all, I needed to get resourceful. I went back to the main wide shot that we filmed a bunch of and found multiple moments that I could freeze and Frankenstein together. I started chopping and masking and scaling until everything looked mostly right, and I eventually erased Dane out of this shot and only had Nick. It sounds kind of simple now, but it took me quite a few hours to get it right, and in the end, it worked out pretty well. The scene flows, the shot only lasts about 1.5 seconds, so no one really has time to notice how rough around the edges it is, and the film's been out for well over a year, and no one has ever complained or noticed, so it works. In my theory is if you can trick them once, then you're good to go. Because if they catch it the second time they watch it, that means they already watched your film twice. So that's a win. That's a dub. Who cares at that point? You got them to watch it again. That means they liked it. Or they hated it and they want to criticize it. Oh, I didn't think about that. We're really only scratching the surface here with what it takes to actually finalize a film. But if you're editing a film, you're probably going to run into some problems similar to this. Not exactly like this, but similar to this. So make sure that you are ready for this. Make sure that you are getting practice in your editing software of choice. And also make sure that you know what post-production options are available to you when things get tricky with your film.